go somewhere. So it's gratifying in its own self. I mean, it's my first project. I've done tons of mixtapes. I'm in a group with Exhibit and Be Real. I mean, I've seen the whole world over, and I never made an album. So it's like actually that moment to sit down and make it, and I'm happy that I made it with my friends, people who are not working with this person because of this name or that name. I just made it with true musicians that I believe in, and we just made something that's gonna last, and it's a real reflection of me and the people I fuck with, and like that vibe, that energy that I'm giving out to the world. So I just know that it's gonna have value to people who can relate to it.
Sure. And like you say, you achieve creatively, but there's still the business of getting it out, getting people to hear it, and all that. So,
and it's something that while we were making it, we didn't really worry about. We didn't even think about it and keep that in mind.
Again, you're going to hit a home run creatively.
Yeah.
But in a way, you got to now hit a home run business-wise. That's why you team up and
shouts out
energize.
to Mad Child, shouts out to Battle Axe Records, and just everything that has to do, that whole movement that he's created. I'm so happy. I'm blessed to be able to be a part of it, and represent, because once he really told me what it is to be a Battle Axe warrior, and these fans that he's created, and this movement that he's like spearheading, he's at, so I like the direction. I like what they're talking about. I like the idea behind what he's doing. So that's what made it so cool to join up with Battle Axe Records, because they have a good understanding. Like, they want to put out quality music, good music. They want to hit the ground running. They want to work. They want to get in front of the fans. They want to know. They want to make it personal, instead of making it just be like, oh, we're just releasing this and we're just
they're hungry for
doing whatever, they just want the connection, because that's the kind of thing that's going to be able to last, and we'll be able to go out there and represent for people that live like how we live, because that's really what it is. I want to put the lifestyle element into the music, and that's why you see on this record I speak a lot about like what me and my friends are doing, what my people, how I see the culture moving, and what I want to add into hip-hop at this moment.
Yeah. We'll talk about the state of hip-hop, because obviously there's different levels, different genres, so much going on, but, overall, what do you think's holding back more creativity, more
I
growth?
think there's a lot of good music out right now. Like, a lot of, it may not necessarily be winning Grammys, but it's out there. And people are selling records. Like J. Cole's new album was crazy. A couple years ago, Kendrick Lamar's album was crazy. This, even see the kind of people that helped out going. The records he worked on with Cudi, they're real, progressive thinking records. Like, I think that a lot of good music is out there, and the eyes are back on the West Coast. There's a lot of shit happening on the coast, and it's a good time to be an MC, and it's a good time to be an entrepreneur and a businessman, and be smart about the way that you can get to your fans one by one.
Yeah. Kendrick winning the Grammy last night. I mean, there's more and more opportunities out there. Just seems like perfect timing, to think outside the box, do what you really feel creatively, and then take that same passion into the business world and see what kind of team, what kind of synergy you can build.
Yeah, because no matter how big or small the team or the quote unquote machine that is standing behind an artist or someone who's trying to put out a product and create like a following, just having people supporting us and the movement that we're trying to make, and just even with Battle Axe in general, like whether it be the artist that they stand next to as Mad Child as an artist or stand behind as a label, like it's people that they believe in, and they believe in the type of music, which is what I think creates really strong groups of fans that like the music, because they can relate to it, or are emotionally involved in, it's not just like a record that got written by this person, performed by this person, but produced by this person and spit out on the radio. That there's records that are done like that are done well, but it's not the type of music that people attach themselves to and will follow, which is what I think that Battle Axe is trying to do as a label, which I think is the direction that we were going for, at least when we started the record, planning on pushing it out independently. Being able to team up with them was cool, I thought.
Yeah, well, you got those camps like that, strange music, and And of course, you know, Sub Noise over there, what Singer does, and all these different types of indie entities these days that can really
Lifestyle brands.
yeah, lifestyle marketing. It is music, it's events, it's touring, it's merch, it's
it's a whole way
it's
to just go
outside the box.
Go about like living, you know.
So what's the biggest difference, Demrick, as far as mixtapes and this? Is this, were those kind of like dates and this is like a baby or what?
Yeah, like I just feel like something like that. But the mixtapes and all that stuff was just doing a bunch of different music and putting it together, and I had ideas of what I wanted to do, but like fully everything, like from the way we made it, the way we wrote it, the way we thought about it, talked about the songs, and did it all through the studio, did it all the correct way, everything from step one. It's from its inception to completion was thought out the whole way, and plus, you know, we just had fun with it. It's like now we were in here like mad scientists making records. I mean, we were doing what we needed to do to get to where we needed to be to you know, make something dope, you know.
Perfect environment. No, less corporate, more creative.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the album is, and so that's what gives it that importance. That's why I'll call it an album, and I would never call it a mixtape or a project or anything like that, which I refer to things in the past. This is just, it's an album. It's my first album.
As far as advice to other artists, do you think some people should move past that kind of mixtape kind of attitude and get more into making a statement? I
just think that the advice that I would give to artists is just, I don't know, man. The internet's right there. You can at least get to some fans right away.
Yeah, but you hear people, you know, putting out this mixtape all the time, and then like you say, this is an album. So
I put out a lot of
encourage more people to do that.
I put out a lot of mixtapes and projects because all of it was original music. I never was rapping over other people's beats, but there's a lot that goes into putting out an album. And I think that everybody should go through that process, whether you do it on your own. I was seeing other artists doing it, and I was like, yo, I want to do something like that. I want to get into that mind state, but I had to wait till I was in the right situation to do something like that. So this was the perfect situation, perfect team of people, right energy, and a good understanding, because I had to go through all the serial killer stuff that I needed to see. So I just guess what I want to say is that a lot of it has to do with timing. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing a mixtape, doing an EP, releasing 3 songs on SoundCloud, whatever. You don't know what's going to crack or what the fans are going to take to. There's no formula for this shit ever. You just got to see things, and as you learn things and as you want to go after those goals, you just make sure you do it right. Like if you're going to put out an album, do it right from the beginning to the end. And that way you can stand behind it like that. So that's what makes me...
We all grew up on albums, though. Falling in love with an album. It seems like some artists use the term mixtape as an excuse. If it doesn't do too well, whatever, oh, that was just a mixtape. Yeah. You know, an album is an album. We're talking about the Grammys or our favorite record collection growing up. You know what I mean?
I feel like some people, or at least the way that I always envisioned it, was a mixtape was more or less a way to release music and see what people will gravitate towards, but then also to, you know, as an artist, kind of discovering like what music it is that you really like doing, or like what's your strong suit, and then being able to think clearly about like the creation of an album. You know, mixtapes I feel like are more just like songs put together, and just because they're in order doesn't mean that you could have done that anyway.
That doesn't make that stuff not good. Like that shit, like sometimes that's it. Maybe you did just hit it out the park with the way you were just putting together music, and some of those things blow up. You know, it's like sometimes they don't. It's either which way. You never know. That's why I'm saying there's no right or no wrong way to do it. I just felt like for me, whatever I was doing and what I had finally seen, like with going out with Serial Killers and seeing the fans like singing the words to some of these songs and seeing the name and the up there next to these legendary people, it's like I felt like I wanted to really go and put out something that was important, that I could really stand behind, and that I seen all the way through. And then to be able to do it with these guys made it even better, because we had been working on music for a while. So it just only made sense that if you're going to really go down that path, you'd want to do that either with a big producer that's going to take the time to really get to know you and try to bring the best out of you, or work with some people that have been believing in you for a long time and work with them because they're on the level now musically, and it's like bring the best out of each other. That's it. It's the only way. You got to have invested interest in music, you know, sometimes to make the best shit. Like, I even think about, like, I watched some old, and this is totally off topic, but I watched a YG interview, like original, like when he was just starting to get popping. He was like, man, me and Mustard, like, we kicked it at the house and worked on music. We didn't leave a whole summer working on one tape, working on one project, just like to make sure to get it right. So that shit didn't happen overnight.
They lived it.
Yeah, exactly. To really make that music, and like those type of things is like that kind of dedication is what yields good results, and not necessarily that result, but I'm saying a result that you should be happy with if you really put effort into it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Well, obviously you were inspired for this. You know, it sounds like it's a complete, you know, piece, and you're really moving forward. You know, with all the traveling you did with Serial Killaz, and obviously seeing these audiences, you know, internationally and stuff. What's the highlight of that for you? Obviously, you're bringing a lot of that back to your project.
Yeah, well, I mean, the highlight of being with them is just the fact that I've had the